It's the 1993 National Championship game between North Carolina and Michigan. It had dubbed the 1993 quartet as the strongest Final Four field ever, with Michigan outlasting Kentucky 81-78 in overtime.
You know, Eric Montrose is a good player, but I feel I'm a good player. You know, I feel Juwan's the best big man defensive player, you know, in the country. So, you know, we welcome this challenge. You know, we welcome this challenge. Just like we're going to have to worry about, you know, their inside play, we're going to have to fear our inside play as well.
He's going! It's up in the air, and the shot is away, and no good at Michigan's right.
Time sophomore from Detroit, Michigan, number 4, Chris Webber. For North Carolina and forward.
To his Tar Heels. Same message he gave them on.
Guys matched up in the center. I'm going to make a prediction. Whatever one plays the most minutes tonight, their team will win the game.
That's Webber Montross. Webber said, I don't want the silver ring.
Montross and Webber down inside. There go those double team traps for North Carolina.
Webber, 3-pointer. Short.
They're going to put Juwan Howard down there on Eric Montross to get the double team to the backside for Webber.
Webber blocks it. Jackson blocks it the next time off of Reese.
Montross has to realize here, Juwan Howard will play him straight up. Chris Webber is going to shield him coming. George Lynch timed it perfectly.
At the other end, Montross follows in.
Jim, one of the things that's happening right now for Michigan, they're not playing their own. Consequently, as I said, if Webber goes over to help on somebody else's man, his man will be wide open.
Jimmy King fouls as we see Eric Riley, the 7-footer, come in for Michigan, replacing Chris Webber.
Extend this Michigan team. So far, Michigan a little slow getting started. An awful lot out of that Houston club. Here's Webber right back. They settle him down. And see if he doesn't change his philosophy.
Jalen Rose gives it up last minute. Webber underneath for the first field goal for the Wolverines.
Two great defensive clubs here.
Reese, Webber was on him, back to Montross. And a foul.
Jim, we see Chris Webber down inside. Now, he had a great game, of course, against the University of Kentucky, but he did likewise against North Carolina the first time. 35 minutes played. He was 10 for 17. He had 27 points. Trouble.
Montross blocked by Webber, his second of the night. Into the hands of Reese, and a blocking foul called on Webber.
Great effort by Webber, but he just couldn't get there in time. He has really settled down now, playing solid defense. Look at how well he times that jump against the 7-footer.
That's the first on Webber and the 4th team foul against Michigan. 10-9 Michigan.
Those threes changed the tenor of the game. You can see a little worried look on a North Carolina player steady. He gets the ball inside. Excellent pass.
The last 3 trips, 9 points. Webber driving, no contact, or no foul on the contact. And score the bucket for Chris Webber. Palenka.
Good fake.
Puts it up, too strong. Webber, that's going to count. Grab to the floor.
That was George Lynch, one of the strongest forwards in college basketball, who had Webber right around the shoulder. Pick it right up, and now Jalen in here just coming at him. That's called the lecture. You can watch it right here. I thought that Palenka got fouled, but watch the strength that Webber has, being pulled to the floor and still softly put it up on the ball. There was the contact inside. There's Lynch, pulled him down, and he still put it up.
Webber gets 2 for the basket. Does Lynch get 2 for the takedown?
Well called. This is a tremendous run by Michigan, doing it on the offensive end of the floor. And that's that. Well, now Steve Fisher, another very crafty move, realizing he doesn't want Chris Webber in any foul trouble, brings Riley in there with a lead.
Webber in for Juwan Howard.
We're keeping it off.
2 free throws.
They didn't even play this much in the first half of the game in Hawaii early in the year.
Webber got it to go, plus a foul.
Thread that needle for Jalen Rose. Again, talked about Carolina's zone, and they said if they go zone, we will have to get the ball inside, counter to what a lot of people say.
The other day, they were talking a great deal during the game, and Chris talked about that as far as what the dialogue was, and he said, I kept talking to Mashburn about...
Another good rebound by Salvador, both ends of the floor.
Lynch doubled up, has to throw over to Reese. Nice
Right. That's Weber on a touch foul.
That's Weber's second.
Touch foul. Great move on the inside that time by Reese. George Lynch lifted up his hand, the tired signal. Well, watch this great cutover move, bouncing up, and Weber just touched him.
For 100 tonight.
Trapping defense. Well, Weber gives too big a target for Williams down inside. Weber just keeps him up there.
Two players tipped it.
Michigan backcourt players, Rose and King, drifted back towards half court instead of getting to the foul line for that long rebound.
Rose. Sullivan called on the foul. They call them hands. That was such a bullet. I don't know how. He never
I don't know how he picked it off.
bobbled it. Not a bit. Carolina on a 7-0 run.
It up now.
Weber has baseline stuff.
Offensive foul and not called that time. Weber got by with one.
From the other side, King. Weber.
Great hands again by Weber. It's almost like he's got a magnum in there.
King gives it up. 3 men around Weber.
Oh, Lynch, another great rebound. And one of the few guards in the country, because of his size, capable of going on that baseline.
Nice touch by Weber. 2 more subs for Dean Smith. Tar Heels, Salvadori, Williams back in.
It is inside, and it did. A great call by the official.
Couldn't find anybody to give them away to. Now you just can't get your hands on enough. 64,000 on hand here at the Superdome this evening.
Good hands again.
That caught, saved by Weber. Montross with 2 hands. December the 16th. His father, a year ago, was the one who suggested it was time. North Carolina, a moment ago, had its largest lead of 8. Michigan has cut it now to 4.
That pressure, passing the ball out quickly.
Sullivan. Oh, I think Weber's hurt.
I think he got hit trying to reach in there with a shoulder. Right in the head. Of course, we know that he had his nose broken earlier this year by Riley in practice. Let's see what happens here. There it was. The hand came right in there. Chris is still down.
Timeout under 16 minutes, the television timeout. We'll be right back. Chris Weber poked in the eye.
Well, he got it right there going down. The young man in a great deal of pain during that timeout. You can see him over there. Family watching on, obviously. Got to pivot out. There's Weber. What a steal.
Quickly. Weber with Williams behind him.
That should have been a technical foul. I do not understand that call, Jim. Guy hangs on the rim. It's a great play by Weber. We talk about his great hands. Look at this. Boom. Gets the steal and off he goes, turns around. He's a big man who can put it on the floor. Maybe not as well as Mashburn, but pretty close. Now watch him hanging on the rim.
Montross said, I don't settle for second place. He was talking about what a perfectionist that he is. Weber, reach in, called.
Krzyzewski pointed out on a telestrator before the game, if you're going to help from the weak side, he's been hit in the abdomen.
That's just a matter of losing your balance in desperation effort. Sullivan. Weber with the hand.
Oh, just a vacuum cleaner in there. Whoop, that's my ball. Out of the way. Michigan has picked up valuable points.
Weber over Montross. In and out. Montross secures the rebound.
Thought he got fouled.
Weber knocks him to the floor. Score the basket. Williams fell, but no foul.
Good no call there.
17 for Weber.
Foul. Weber saying they're pushing me on the other end. You see Weber right here. You can see he gains no advantage on this play. Donald Williams just falls down when he met a little bit of contact. Good finish by Chris Weber.
That foul was not on Weber. It was called against Riley, his first. Ryan Reese Back for the Tar Heels. Sullivan out.
Very much on
Pass from behind him. Good idea. Poor execution. So great to have big men that can pass like Juwan Howard.
Weber, 50 move.
Monzon's getting a long rest. There's that passing line.
Michigan is in front, 60-58.
There's the high low.
Passes it up, gives it the road instead. Weber, easy rebound, but threw it up way too hard. Coming on the next whistle, but a long stretch of hot shooting and fast action. Michigan, by one. Back in for Michigan. And Williams, we saw also returning for the Tar Heels. 6:06 remaining.
Good help down inside.
King three-pointer short. Oh, man. Weber.
Here's North Carolina breaking again. And obviously a lot of help down inside.
Get it into Weber.
There's that help.
Four players from Sullivan.
Now, Jim, one of the things to the shooting of a free throw except on a shot. But what you can do now defensively if a man gets down in there tight is to foul him quickly.
Line nowhere really close to the 1-1, and Michigan wants a timeout. 1:18 remaining. Timeout Michigan. Carolina has scored 7 straight.
Bill Four, exactly. Played against Marquette, lost in that championship situation to Al McGuire's team. How about Weber? Phelps, a guard, very good with the ball. Weber playing him one-on-one in the backcourt and gets a steal away from him. Not anything easy.
Michigan. Oh, reset the line.
Jim, again, you play passively, bringing the ball in against the press. You've got to go long and look for a...
3 to tie.
Got it.
Oh, it sure looked good. Weber underneath. 1-point game. North Carolina by 1.
Michigan has no timeouts left.
1-1.
Well, there was another young man that went to the line with 17.
Ball and 2 to tie. Michigan have to bring it.
Oh, he lost. He lost it. The referee missed it.
Weber brings it into the front court. They have no timeouts remaining.
Oh, he lost it. Too many timeouts from the technical foul.
He called a timeout. Michigan doesn't have any.
He got by with a walk, and Jimmy calls a he calls a timeout. He doesn't realize that's Michigan's too many, and so it'll be a technical foul. North Carolina shooting and the ball. A huge mental mistake. Steve Fisher calls his team back.
You know, at this, you hate to even harken back to 82, but there was a mistake, a mental mistake at the very same point of the game between Georgetown.
On that particular play, Brown threw it to what he thought was a teammate out of the corner of his eye, and it was James Worthy.
Weber thought they had a timeout in their pocket. They did not. Thus, it's a technical foul against the Wolverines. North Carolina will shoot 2 plus have possession.
Correct. You'll see the walk, however. The referee had his back turned here. Doesn't see the play, but Weber walks on this one. Boom, boom, there's the walk. Now here he calls the timeout because he realizes he's in trouble. It's down to 11 seconds. And you can see the exasperated look on the sidelines of the Michigan.
Disbelief.
Yep. And it'll be Donald Williams going into the line. Jim now has an opportunity to do it on the line. And if you're Michigan, not much you can do about it right here. You just have to hope that he doesn't make it. Of course, if you're North Carolina,
If he wins one tonight, that'll be 2-2 in the Superdome.
exactly. You know, they've named the dome after him already in North Carolina,
Yeah, right.
the Dean Dome. Do you think there's any problem? We talked about foul problems. It turned out not enough fouls were the problem for Michigan. He opted not to come over for shooting practice on Saturday, rather had his meal. There's the offensive move.
Got to balance.
But he said he'd rather eat his meal than come over and shoot. It certainly happened. Matter of fact, the young man is, I guess, broke the record here for three-point shooting in the Final Four.
He has made 10 out of 14 in the 2 games, Donald Williams. And how about Chris Weber? What must be running through that young man's mind right now?
Michigan cannot stop the game, and so the basic, well, you know what he's thinking about. He's such a cerebral young man, has handled himself so well in the press conference. He's been absolutely fantastic with his knowledge of the game and the way he answers things, but maybe in the rush of the moment, Jim.
Dean Smith, 8 seconds away from a second national championship. The bat fly comes up short again.